Oh, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back. Listen, I want to talk real quick about ex-housewife, Miss Real Housewives of Atlanta star Nene Leakes, as well as Ebony K. Williams of Real Housewives of New York. Okay, she definitely got over there and shook up some things over there on New York. So I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with Ebony K. I came familiar with Ebony K by way of her interviews that she's done with the Breakfast Club. Okay, and other things that she also went on to do that I, got a chance to see her, online or whatnot. But real quick, I want to talk to y'all about Miss Nene Leakes because she was on the Breakfast Club hosting, last week, earlier this week, whenever it was that she was hosting. And she actually took a shot at Robin Dixon and Giselle of Real Housewives of Potomac by saying that they were starless, okay? A lot of the Real Housewives that are remaining are not stars, okay? So she took a shot at them, and then she went on to expand it and take a shot at all of the ladies remaining on the Real Housewives shows. And I couldn't help but feel like Nene may be a little bit of jealous or something like that. Like, do you want to be back on the show? Because the shots that she took at everybody was like, girl, you don't have to call those people starless. Because let's be honest, when you first entered the game, you were very much so starless. You were not a star, but you rose to that particular position. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to your team because they were able to get you beyond just the views of, housewives. You were able to go on and do acting and other things, right? So shout out to your team for definitely helping you with that. So I wouldn't necessarily say the ladies are starless, even though it was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Coming from Miss Nene, because Miss Nene always gonna get a girls a little something, okay? But it's like, just because they may not be stars now doesn't mean that they won't go on to actually be stars. All right. Same thing for Miss Portia Williams. A lot of people didn't know who the hell she was, but eventually she did become a star. But then also Nene said that there's a difference. There's a difference between being a star and also just being well known. And I like the way Ebony K put it. And I'm also going to play a portion of, her thoughts and her response to Nene Leakes. But I kind of like the way that she put it, like you are a star when you are known well beyond just housewives. I don't know if Portia Williams is really known well beyond housewives, so I would think that Portia Williams is a Bravo celebrity. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts. I feel like Candy Burris, that's a star. Garcelle, that's a star. Cal Richards, that's a star. Lisa Rinna, as much as we may not like her, Lisa Rinna is a star. Candy Burris, I don't know if I mentioned her. I may have mentioned her already. Kenya Moore is a star. I'm teetering between Cynthia. I would want to say that Cynthia was a star because she's well known beyond just Real Housewives, but a lot of people did not know Cynthia Bailey when she was just a model, right? And as far as her acting career, a lot of that is coming on the back end after she has already been known for Housewives. So I feel like she's a Bravo celebrity, but she's making her way into being a star, and I don't know. I feel like Cynthia is kind of like, not sure because her face was very familiar to me, but I did not know exactly who she was until she came onto Housewives. So I'm kind of thinking like, y'all got to let me know. Would Cynthia Bailey be a Bravo celebrity or would she be a star? Let's get to Eva. Everybody knew Eva from being America's Next Top Model. Not only did we just see her images everywhere, but we knew exactly who she was. And then, she was very well established. She went on to do acting before she even did Housewives. So I guess you could say that Eva would be a star as well, but y'all got to let me know your thoughts, about all of this. And I think it makes for great conversation if you ask me. All right. So Miss Nene Leakes definitely threw shade, but she also sparked a conversation to happen amongst, the Bravo fans and stuff. So I definitely want you guys to hop down in the comments and share your thoughts about this particular matter. But I am about to play a clip. And on this clip, you're going to hear where Nene kind of referenced the ladies as being starless, but you're also going to hear Miss Ebony K's response to it. And she actually called Miss Nene out for saying that she didn't know her when she knew exactly who she was because she hopped in her DMs and Ebony has the receipts to prove it. So let's go ahead and get into what the ladies had to say.
I tell you, there's a difference between famous and being known.
There is.
That's all.
I thought a lot of them on the Real Housewives franchises were famous.
They all famous?
I would think so, especially on the Potomac in Atlanta.
They're famous?
I thought so.
Oh my God.
Candy is famous.
Yes.
Escape, Candy. Okay, but never mind.
You something else.
I haven't even said anything. I'm just looking at y'all. Say what now? Just tell me again. Okay, well, I will give Candy, yeah. But everyone else, I don't see it.
Did you watch New York Housewives?
Who is even on that show? I think they got rid of the whole entire cast and they have a new cast.
Ebony K. Williams was on the show.
She was on it.
I don't know her either.
She'll be here this
now,
week.
is she famous or is she known?
I mean,
Now you
that's a good
confused.
question.
Nene that's a great
That's
question.
a good question.
I don't know what that applies to with them, but that's
She's
a great
known.
question.
She's known.
She's known.
Yeah.
And she might be famous to some. I think fame is subjective, right? Like there's people that are famous, like Beyonce's famous.
Yeah,
we all know
Beyonce's,
that.
yeah, when you think of famous, I think of Beyonce.
But then everybody else is subjective because you can be walking through the mall with your 14-year-old and she might lose it over a TikTok star. So that TikTok star is famous to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, Ebony K. Williams is here. She's our judge. But of course, you can weigh in.
Oh, yes.
What do you think?
Well, I've got unique perspective. Gentlemen, as you both know, I was the first black woman on Real Housewives of New York.
Nene said she didn't know who you were.
Yeah, that's so interesting to me, though, because I'm looking at my Instagram DMs, and there you go, Envy. You can see.
That is a receipt.
That's a receipt
Can we
from
read
Miss.
that evidence in court?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, why don't you read it, Charlamagne?
Read it out
Ebony's
loud.
closer. Go ahead.
You can read that.
Well, this is from Nene Leakes February 3rd at 9:07 a.m. Are you still on the show? 3 days later, February 12th. Hello? And then 2 days from that, Ebony K. Williams responds, hello, Nene. Happy to chat in person. My cell is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let me know next time you're in New York City.
Yo, Nene is so crazy. Like, are you still on the show? I can just hear the shade in her voice. Hello?
So Nene does know who you are.
And then she proceeded to call, per my instruction, or invitation, rather.
Oh, she
and
did
we
call
had,
you?
Yes, we had a very lovely chat.
No.
Absolutely. So I'm not sure what was meant when she came on this beloved program and said, I don't know her. That's just factually not true.
Yeah.
I want to say this. So that is just a lie. Okay, so you do know me, Nene, and you do know that I was the first and only black housewife. In fact, I was named in Nene's legal complaint. I am actually a named person as an example of the racial discrimination that she alleged Bravo of participating in.
Oh.
She cites my example, what I
Got you.
went through with Ramona on camera. So,
Got you.
yeah, the court documents say you do know me, Nene. Okay,
Damn.
so anyway.
So if you catch somebody lying, does that mean their whole testimony is a lie?
I would argue that at closing, Envy.
Damn.
I would argue that now you have no credibility on the topic and you have a reputation for lying.
So do we go to the jury at all?
Is this a closed case?
Case closed?
No, not case closed.
Okay.
Well, guilty of hating for sure, and
Got
guilty
you.
of lying because you absolutely reached out to me. I didn't reach out to you. But also,
The question
the
she
difference is, because I do agree with Nene on the broader point of being known
And famous.
being different, famous. Bravo Housewives, Charlamagne specifically, we have a particular rabid fan base. They actually have a name for that. Bravo-lebrity. That's called a Bravo-lebrity. So when your celebrity is rude, if you were not a known individual but for being a housewife, you're a Bravo-lebrity. They can be really, really big celebrities. Like you say, people standing in line, people knocking, people fainting, people passing out, all of that. That's great.
Because I've seen them do that to Giselle and Robin at their live podcast. Like,
I
I've seen
believe that.
Yeah.
I have seen that. I've seen them do it with some of my dumb castmates, former castmates. So I believe that. That is different, though.
That was a shot. Dumb. That was a shot.
Well,
Okay.
they dumb. You saw this season. Anyways, that is different, though, y'all, than being, I would say, a bona fide celebrity with an actual skill set. I think that's the difference, perhaps, that Nene was talking to. And because I'm not a hater, I will credit Nene as I have done on this show, as I've done on The View, which I guess host frequently, that Nene transcended Housewives as a genre. And I would say Nene became famous beyond being a housewife.
So
Bethany Frankel definitely did.
Bethany Frankel did, Nene did.
Teresa
got
Giudice?
No.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not. I think beyond the housewives, Teresa is the Bravo-lebrity. I think you've got somebody like Garcelle Bouvet, who was a known celebrity being a housewife.
Yeah.
That only added to her celebrity.
I don't count her in the Kenya Moores of the world. Our Candy, because they was already people. They were known
definitely
before.
not Candy. Candy is a yeah.
That was my point. I think when you look at it, and maybe like you said, a Bravo celebrity, but I always thought Candy was famous because outside of just Housewives, she had a successful career with
Candy
Escape, and
is
she had a
a
solo
R&B
career.
legend.
She
Yeah.
wrote Scrubs. Like she is famous.
She's a Broadway producer.
Absolutely.
She's
She's a
halfway
Broadway
to an
producer.
EGOT.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's
She's
famous.
famous. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So what about Robin and Giselle.
They're Bravo celebrities. I just was with Robin yesterday. Had a great conversation. Congratulated her on her new nuptials. I don't even think that they would argue with that point.
Correct.
I could be wrong.
I agree. Let's go to the jury.
Now, starless, I would say that's wrong. I think Giselle. I think Robin's a star. I think Candy Star. I think all those are stars.
All right, so y'all just heard everything Miss Ebony K and Miss Nene Leakes had to say. All right, now, Ebony K, definitely, I told y'all she was going to pull out the receipt. She had a DM where Nene actually DM'd her. Now, when I first heard the story, I was thinking to myself, oh, I think I know why she DM'd you. And it was before she ended up going on to say that Nene, you know, had her in her documentation. I said, oh, she only reached out to you because you had an issue with all of those white ladies and how problematic they were. And Nene saw it as an angle for her to use in her lawsuit. So that's the real reason she reached out. But I kind of feel like Nene might not know her, even though she reached out to her. You know what I'm saying? She probably forgot her name because in that moment, she only needed her for that moment, not to go beyond that. But then also we know that Nene is very shady when she says things. So she probably does know exactly who the woman is, because now that I'm thinking about it, you called her on the phone. So you had to know enough of something. Maybe she couldn't recall her name at the moment. But again, I don't know. Y'all know Nene shady. So she could have definitely been throwing shade, saying she don't know her. Because as much as she has known that Candy has been around longer than she has ever, okay, she still threw shade at Candy and not wanting to give Candy a star. You know what I'm saying? Not label her as a star. It took Charlamagne to call her out about that, and then now she wants to label her as a star. You know what I'm saying? But either way, Miss Ebony K came to the front with her receipts and everything. So I want to hear you all's thoughts on Ebony K's clap back to Miss Nene Leakes. But also, I want to hear y'all thoughts on who you would label as a Bravo celebrity versus who you would label as an actual star. You feel what I'm saying? And let me know y'all thoughts primarily on Miss Cynthia. Because again, I kind of feel like it's somewhere in the middle. Do y'all think Cynthia is a star, or would you say that she's a Bravo celebrity? I don't know. Leave it in the comments, okay? That's all I got for y'all at this time, honey. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.